Hello guys and girls, my name is Levitee and welcome back to a new type of video. As you can tell by the title, your Toronto Weaviles have joined a new league called the Pokemon4Friends. This league is a little bit smaller than the ABL. It's comprised of 10 teams. Week 1 will start on the 14th. I'm going to be uploading my battles on Saturday since the PWL is now over. I have nothing really for Saturdays. So yeah, that's when my battles are going to go up. This isn't really primarily a YouTuber league. I think I'm actually the only one who's going to be uploading my videos or my battles. So yeah, basically how this draft went is you drafted 12 Pokemon with custom tiers. I'll tell you the tiers right now. The tiers were you had to grab 2 tier 1s, a tier 2, a tier 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, tier 5, and the rest were free slots. And then we had the Mega tier. Now the Mega tier was split up into 4 different tiers, I think, being Mega 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you grabbed a Mega Pokemon from 2, 3, or 4, then you got points back, which is what I did. I grabbed the tier 2 Mega, and I got 40 points for my free slots. And with the free slots, you started with 400 points, but I got 440 points because I grabbed the tier 2 Mega. But yeah, I think we should just hop into my picks right off the bat. So at the first spot, I decided to grab Heatran. Now Heatran, the way this draft went, it was a snake form draft. Basically what that means is, let's say you start at the beginning of the draft in round 1, and then round 2 you'll be like at the end, and then round 3 you'll be at the beginning, round 4 at the end again, and that cycle continues. And I was in round 1, I was, I think, 4th to last or 3rd to last, and then I was fine with that because that means round 2 I was somewhat in the beginning, which was really nice. I only really got sniped twice, which I'll discuss that when we get to those Pokemon. But let's go through my picks right now. So at number 1 we have Heatran. So Heatran, I've really wanted to use Heatran for a long time in League format. It's a very good Pokemon in my opinion. It can do a lot of things. It can be a Scarfmon. It can be bulky. It can like be specs. You could even run a Bandit set if you want to. It's a Will-O-Wisper, which is really nice to have. It pretty much can handle almost any fairies as long as they hit a Focus Blast, because it does resist fairy naturally by ×4, which is really nice. I love having Pokemon. Actually, I really love having bulky steel types. I have a lot of success using bulky steel types, and Heatran can do that very well. Being a Will-O-Wisper, you can nullify physical attacks, and I'm not sure about its special defense. I don't think it's that bad, but the one thing that does suck about Heatran though is that it is ×4 weak to ground, and a lot of Pokemon can learn Earthquake, so that could not work in your favor too often. But either way, you're probably not going to want to stay in on ground types. But Air Balloon is pretty popular set on Heatran as well, so that might not even need to worry about that. So then the next up for my next tier 1, I decided to grab Latias. I wanted a fast and hard hitting dragon type, and I was looking at tier 1. I was like, Latias is looking really good here, and it also has that Levitee ability, which can take the Earthquakes for Heatran, barring they don't have Mold Breaker, which is really nice. But yeah, Latias, I have sort of experience using it. Not really regular Latios, but Mega Latios I have experience with. But they're kind of the same Pokemon. They really do the same thing. Latios, it actually is very versatile Pokemon. It gets moves like Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. And then the stab moves like Draco, Dragon Pulse, Psychic, Psyshock. There might be more fun ones that it gets, but those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But it's a very fast Pokemon, hard hitter, good Scarfmon, good Spexmon. I definitely feel like the Heatran Latios core will be pretty good. Heatran can take those fairy type attacks that Latios doesn't like. And same thing with those ice type attacks. And Latios can take the fighting type and ground type attacks that Heatran doesn't like. So they pretty much cover each other's weaknesses very well. I thought about picking up Zygarde, but there's another ground type I wanted later on in the draft, so I just didn't decide to grab Zygarde. Then move on to tier 2, and for tier 2, I was looking at it and I was like, alright, let's grab a bulky grass type early on, because usually the good grass types are in like tier 2, tier 3, so I decided to get one of mine in there early on too. And I got one of the best bulky grass types. I got Tangrowth. I don't have much experience with Tangrowth, but I've seen a lot of people use it very effectively. Specifically, Nathan ABL Season 1 used Tangrowth phenomenally. And Tangrowth also will be able to eat Earthquakes for Heatran for days. It's going to eat them. The one thing that does suck about Tangrowth, though, is it has very bad special defense, but Assault Vest Tangrowth actually isn't that bad of an option. It's pretty much like a sponge, and it's going to eat up a lot of hits. It also has the Regenerate ability, which is nice. I can pretty much save the longevity of the Pokemon, which is really nice. It gets reliable recovery with Synthesis, and I can pull some Leech Seed, Sleep Power shenanigans, you know, bulky grass type stuff. But yeah, I definitely feel like Tangrowth fits the team well. It's a good physical wall, along with Heatran. But yeah, I definitely feel like Heatran, Latios, Tangrowth Core, and the next Pokemon coming up will be very good in this league. So let's talk about that next Pokemon. Next up, we move to the Tier 3. We got to grab 2 of them. And the first one I grabbed was Jellison. You know me, I love bulky water types, specifically Milotic. I really wanted to grab Milotic. I really did. But I felt like this one Pokemon really fit the team a lot better, just because of its secondary typing. But I decided to grab Jellison. Jellison with that ghost typing, I feel like it's going to pair really well with Heatran, because it also will nullify, or it's immune to the fighting type attacks that Heatran doesn't like, and it also has the immunity to water with Water Absorb, so people can't really spam Scald on my team, because I can just send in Jellison and get my health back, which is really nice. Jellison is also another Will-O-Wisper. It's a spin blocker with the ghost type, which is really nice. But I really like my Heatran, Tangrowth, Jellison defensive core. I feel like it's going to be really effective in the league. Pretty much both Tangrowth and Jellison both have reliable recovery, with Jellison having recover, and Jellison is just very bulky. It's a good special wall. It's just overall bulky in my opinion. If you can burn the opponent, then your defense, you won't really have to worry about hitting physical attacks or taking physical attacks, which is nice because the opponent will be burned. And then you can take special hits. You're obviously not going to want to stand on like grass types or electric types. I can just send in Heatran to Tangrowth, which is really nice. And then on my next Tier 3 pick, I decided to grab a ground type, because I wanted something to take the thunder type attacks or electric for Jellison. I know Tangrowth can eat them, but I want an immunity to them, and I always like to grab a ground type in draft format. I decided to grab Dontphan. I also needed reliable recovery. I know Latios can learn Defog. Oh, speaking of Latios, Latios is also my Z holder. But back to Dontphan. I wanted better, reliable hazard clear, and Dontphan is a pretty good spinner at that. I really would have grabbed Hippowdon if it was in the tier. Unfortunately, it was higher up, and I didn't really have anything I could replace on my free slots for it, which is really nice. But I decided to grab Dontphan, but there is some things that Dontphan can do better than Hippowdon. Like, for example, it's a good spinner. It actually has a lot more offensive coverage of what it can do. I think it gets, like, Seed Bomb, Ice Shard. It might get Fire Fang and Thunder Fang and Ice Fang. I don't know. Maybe. But, yeah. One thing I really don't like about Dontphan, though, is it doesn't get the best recovery. Sure, I can run Resto Chesto, but that's really only good for one turn. And then after you use your Chesto Berry, it's not the best, in my opinion. But I do feel like Dontphan will fit the squad really nice. It's a good physical wall as well. Yeah, that's basically it about Dontphan. And then we move on to the Tier 4. In Tier 4, I was looking at Fairy types. I always have a hard time picking Fairy types, in my opinion, in leagues. There's not many I really like. I was going to go for Gramble, but that unfortunately sniped. That was sniped from me. I really like using Gramble, though. I think I used it pretty well in the EBL, but unfortunately got sniped from me. So I was looking at... Togetic was originally my backup for Gramble, but then I was like, I don't really want to use Togetic. So I was looking at these other two Fairy types. I was looking at Slurpuff and Aromatisse, and I felt like Aromatisse would fit the team better, so I decided to go with that. Aromatisse is pretty bulky. I think it has like maybe 101 HP and like 80 defenses and special defense. It's not bad by all means. And it also has Wish support, which will help out Dontphan a lot, because like I said, Dontphan doesn't have the reliable recovery really, which is really like it. I really like having a Wish passer on this. Aromatisse might not be the best wish passer, but I don't really care. It's wish support at that. And I do feel like it can be pretty bulky if worked correctly. I mean, it's pretty good. It's more around, it's not really like a physical or a special. It's more around just a bulky Pokemon, which is what I like. And plus it's a fairy type, so fairy type is pretty bulky in general. It resists a lot of things. But yeah, I definitely feel like Aromatisse will fit the squad really well. It's the first time I've ever used him, so we'll see how it will work out for me. And then move on to the tier 5. I decided to pick up a Pokemon that I didn't think should be in tier 5 in my opinion, but as soon as I saw it there, I was like, alright, we're gonna grab this. Mismagius, I grabbed Mismagius. I don't think Mismagius is tier 5 worthy. I think it's at least tier 4, but so be it. If it's tier 5, I'm gonna grab it. Mismagius can do a lot of things. It can be Scarf, Specs will hit really hard with it. Having the base 105 speed and special attack is not bad. You beat all Pokemon that are base 100, barring they're not Scarfed, which is really nice. Mismagius gets a decent coverage as well too. It gets like Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball for stab, and some other things. It could also be a special wall if you want to try and do that, but that's not the best option since the HP stat is pretty bad. I know Mismagius doesn't can't really take physical hits at all, but at the same time, you're not going to want to stay in on like a physical attacking Pokemon really, like a dark type with knockoff. And I really kind of wanted Mismagius to take, because it had the Levitate ability for one, so that's another thing for Heatran, and that's really it. But yeah, I really do feel like Mismagius is going to fit the team well, which is really nice. And then move on to the free slots. Now, this Pokemon, I'm really happy I got to pick it up. It was actually a last-minute decision, which is really nice. But the original Pokemon I had here was Thunderous Therian, but that unfortunately got sniped from me. So I was looking at it, I was like, what else should I grab? What else should I grab? I was looking at it, and I saw that Weavile was still open. So I was like, alright, you know what? We're going to grab Weavile. I've really wanted to use Weavile in League format for a really long time. I just never got around to doing it. So I was like, alright, let's try Weavile out now in League format. So we got our mascot, Weavile. And yes, I will be naming him Toronto just for this league. I usually name my Weaviles Criminal, but for this we'll name him Toronto. But Weavile's a very hard-hitting Pokemon, very fast, very hard knockoff Pokemon. It also gets priority with Ice Shard. It can set up with Ice Shard and Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Low Kick, Brick Break, Poison Jab, all that fun stuff that Weavile does. It's a good Focus Sash Pokemon as well. You could pull some Sword Dance Sash sets with that. I don't know how often I'll do that though, because people often prepare for that and have some sort of priority on the squad. But if the opponent has 0 priority, I'm probably going to run Focus Sash Weavile with like Sword Dance and Ice Shard. But yeah, very happy I got to pick up Weavile. And then we move on to the second free slot. And now, since I didn't get to grab Thunderous Therian, I needed an Electric type. Thunderous Eye Incarnate was originally my backup for Thunderous Therian, but I was like, you know, I don't really want that. I kind of want something faster. So I decided to pick up Jolteon. Jolteon is a very good Pokemon in League format, in my opinion. Jolteon has proved its worthiness many times before in leagues. So I'm very happy I got to pick it up very fast. Like I said, it's very hard hitting. The one thing I do not like about Jolteon that much is it's kind of like a one-time deal. Everyone really knows what it's going to do. Specs, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power Ice, Signal Beam. I think that's really it. But yeah, Jolteon, it's a glass cannon as well. It's not going to really be taking hits, but it does have the electric immunity with Volt Absorb. That could be really nice with Jellison. Jellison and Jolteon both actually being immune to water and electric, which is really nice. Really nice indeed. But I really like having Jolteon on the squad. Like I said, Jolteon has been proven to be very good in League format numerous times, so hopefully I can use it well. And then next up, we needed a fighting type, so I decided to grab Mienshao. Now, this is an interesting pick. Mienshao, I will actually be trading for Hariyama, because my team is really weak to knockoff and dark types, and Hariyama can kind of take that better than Mienshao. So we'll talk about both Mienshao and Hariyama. Mienshao is a very fast, hard-hitting Pokemon. Not specs. It's a good Scarfmon, Fake Out, Knockoff, and Reckless High Jump Kick really hits hard on that thing. It also gets Regenerate, which is really nice, but I feel like I would use Reckless more often, but I won't be using Miss Magius. I'll only be using Mienshao for 1 week, which stinks. So the reason, you already heard why I traded Hariyama, or Mienshao for Hariyama, because Hariyama can take dark types a little bit better, and Hariyama is actually not that bad of a Pokemon. It's kind of like a bootleg Conkeldurr in my opinion, and I've used Conkeldurr really successfully in leagues before, specifically ABL Season 2, so I don't see why I won't be able to use Hariyama better. Hariyama does get priority with Bullet Punch. No Mach Punch though, which does stink a little bit, but yeah, I will be having Hariyama on the squad when Week 2 starts, but for Week 1 I'll still have Mienshao. And then we moved on to the second to last pick. I needed one more Pokemon in the free slots. I could only afford a tier 5, and I decided to grab, in my opinion, a very worthy tier 5 pick. We grabbed our Maldo. I have our Maldo in the ABL as well, so that's the reason why I kind of grabbed it, because I do have the experience with him. It's another spinner as well. It's not a bad spinner too. I also needed a rock and a bug type, so I was like, alright, you know what, we'll grab our Maldo. Our Maldo, it actually gets knockoff too, so we have like 4 knockoff uses, being Tangrowth, Weavile, Mienshao, and our Maldo. It can actually be pretty offensive too, with base 125 attack. Its defense is not that bad too, base 100, it's not bad at all, which is really nice. Yeah, it's not much to say about our Maldo. It's pretty good physical wall if used correctly. But yeah, back to the Mega Pokemon. Or not back to it, to the Mega Pokemon. Like I said, I did grab a Mega Tier 2 in the intro. And I decided to grab a very underrated Mega in my opinion, with Mega Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot is a very hard-hitting Pokemon. Bird spam is really nice in League format. Brave Bird, Hurricane, spamming those moves is really nice. The good thing about Mega Pidgeot with Hurricane 2 is you're not going to be taking recoil, and you're not going to be missing Hurricane because Mega Pidgeot gets Magic Guard. Or Magic Guard? No. What is the ability? Wide Guard? I don't remember what it is. Don't yell at me in the comments. But yeah, Mega Pidgeot does get that ability to boost its accuracy. But Mega Pidgeot is kind of like in the same deal as Jolteon though. It's a one-time deal Pokemon. Everyone really knows what it's going to do. Hurricane, Heat Wave, Roost, Defog, U-Turn. That's like it. But my goal for Mega Pidgeot in this league is to try and use it differently. There is actually a secret strategy I have for the Mega Pidgeot. I'm not going to say it though because coaches are probably going to be watching this. I want to keep it a secret. You guys probably see it in Week 1 though, if I bring Mega Pidgeot in that battle. But yeah, Mega Pidgeot is a very underrated Pokemon in my opinion. Like I said before, Hurricane Spam is really nice. Just plain simple, Hurricane Spam is really nice. It's very fast too as well. My team is very fast. That's really it for the team. Yeah, that's my last Pokemon. Now, one of the things that I'm very weak to is, a lot of people pointed this out, is dark types kind of give my team a lot of trouble, which is what tempted me to trade in Mienshao for Hariyama, because Hariyama can take dark types a little bit better. It does stink though. I'll have to revenge kill a lot of dark types. I'll have to count on Aromatisse to kill him, or take hits from him rather. Also, Pokemon that could give me a lot of trouble. Mold Breaker Excadrill could give me a lot of trouble, as it'll beat Latios and Miss Magius with Earthquake, because it'll beat the Levitate. Haxorus with Mold Breaker could give me trouble with Earthquake, because he can click it Earthquake on Heatran. Because, not Heatran, Latios, you're gonna click Dragon Claw anyway. But yeah, I definitely feel like Mold Breaker Pokemon could be some trouble for my team. But yeah, other than that, I really like my team. I've used a lot of these Pokemon before. Really, the only Pokemon that I've never used before is Aromatisse. I haven't used Mega Pidgeot that often, but I've never used an Elite format as well. But all these other Pokemon I really have experience using. I haven't used Miss Magus in a while though. But yeah, that's really it for my draft. If you guys like my draft, tell me some suggestions or stuff you can recommend down below in the comments, or possible trades I could do that will make my team better, especially against dark types. But yeah, let me know if you guys are going to be supporting the Weaviles. Battles will go up to 14th, week 1 on Saturday, so make sure to look out for that. But I'm going to get the heck out of here. Hope you guys have a beautiful day.